Hello guys and welcome to a game called Root Double Before Crime After Days Extend Edition. Not the title for you, ain't it? Just came out on Steam like today. Or no, not today. Not the day the video will be up, but when I bought it. It was the day it came out. Game by the Sekai Project. They make a lot of games, so it's gonna be good. Hopefully. Heard good things. I don't know anything about this game, except for what I see in screenshots, and it looks fun. So yeah, you know what? Let's just what do we got for options here? Message, controller support. That's always appreciated. Voice volume up. Okay, this should be good. Okay. Alrighty. What's the extras? We got any good extras yet? Album. Anything? Nope. I don't know why I look. Wow, there's a lot of CGs. Okay. Question mark. Ooh, what could that be, I wonder? Well, you know what? You know what? Stop messing around the menu and get to the damn game. Oh gosh, route select. Oh, I can select a button. Oh, there I can select routes. Okay. Route name after. Perspective Watase Kasasagi. Story date. September 16, 2030, 9/16. I don't know what the stars mean. I guess they're all the different. Wow, there's a lot of endings. Holy crap. Route name before. Perspective Natsuhiko Tenkawa. September 10th, 2030. Okay, see, 9 souls are trapped in Labo. They attempt to escape the facility in the face of that hopeless situation. However, reality sneers at those struggling to survive. At the limits of fatigue and anxiety and death looming over them, something lurks in their hearts. Is it the courage to never give up, or can they cleave a path to the future with their own hands? Okay. A certain accident traps children in Labao nuclear research facility. It is then that the boy is caught up in a mysterious phenomenon. He finds himself recalling the past as if he were reliving it. A strange phenomenon indeed. He soon watches once again as the trivial incident causes his peaceful days to collapse. What awaits him at the end? Is it a shocking, cruel truth? Can the past be rewritten? You know what? I'm just going to go with the first one here. I mean, I notice it has the most endings, so it looks like this will be the one to play. So let's just start.
彼らは捕虜が集められるように牢に集められ、獄に閉じ込められる。多くの日が経った後、彼らは罰せられる。旧約聖書、イザヤ書24章22節。
Hey, we got enough biblical references in Tokyo Babel, thank you. Oh, wow. That was very loud. If you wear headphones, be wary. The roar echoed through the laboratory at daybreak. As if... Oh, okay, I gotta change that. Hang on. Message speed now fast. System voice. We're gonna just... Okay, there we go. Okay. As if it were a bell, heralding the end.
何の音だ? わかりません。第一エリアの方から。確認を早く。あ、いけません。増幅中にゲートを開けては。
ただいま地下1階第一エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。
Of course, it's a woman voice. The roars didn't stop there.
ただいま地下2階第3エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。
The loud noises and violent shaking continued to echo throughout the facility. Oh man. So, stuff's burning. That's not
ただい
good.
ま地下1階第2エリアで火災が発生しました。
Followed immediately by shock waves and the sound of screaming.
ただいま地下2階第2エリアで激しい振動を感知しました。 施設内のセキュリティを避難モードに移行。
There wasn't a soul in that place who yet understood what had happened here. A clear voice echoed amongst all the confusion and cacophony.
緊急放送です。ただいま施設内で原因不明の爆発が発生しました。
That voice that announced the destruction was but a fragment of the truth. At the 6th Laboratory of Atomic and Biological Organization, the scientific research facility located on the outskirts of Rokme City, an explosion occurred. Wow.
繰り返します。施設内のセキュリティを避難モードに移行。N エリアを除く全ゲートを開放します。
Yeah,
職
calmly.
員の皆様は落ち着いて地上へ避難してください。
Pay no attention to the fires and explosions around you. Calmly form a neat line and exit the facility. The automatic PA screamed out warnings as if it had broken. It was an accident that should have been impossible.
消火システムが作動しない。
なぜだ。くそ。署員の避難を急がせろ。
Everyone had begun ranting madly, caught up in the chaos surrounding them.
非常階段が崩れ落ちただと。
エレベーターもすべて停止しています。避難の術がありません。
バカな。なんでそんなことに。
You don't have stairs or anything?
とにかく避難を急いで。
But then a calm voice rose as if to quell the pandemonium.
みんな落ち着きなさい。
博士。
Oh, they actually animate the voices moving. That's pretty cool.
忘れたの？有事の際には即座に所轄の消防署に通報が届くシステムになっていることを。ものの数分で救助隊が到着するはずよ。
数分でそんな早すぎる。
彼らは通常の消防隊員ではないもの。特別高度救助隊シリウス。我が市が誇るレスキュー隊の精鋭たちよ。
6:26 a.m. The rescue squad arrived at the scene. A row of rescue workers wearing protective suits stood before a man garbled in the same outfit.
よし、全員そのまま聞け。現在このラボの中には無数の人が取り残さ
Did I
れ
say garbled? I'm an idiot.
そして施設の性質上、これは通常の出場ではない。この現状では何が起こるかわからない。どんな不測の事態もだ。
A young woman who appeared to be fairly new to the team gulped behind her faceplate. The captain looked at her and continued.
俺たちの任務は人を救助すること。いつもそうだったように、今日もそれは変わらない。だがお前たちはレスキュー隊員である前に人間だ。お前たちが生還すれば、それだけで1名の命を救ったことになる。以上に留意し、救助活動に従事しろ。それでは、こう。
Yeah, let's do this. With that shout, they rushed into the facility, all having no idea what awaited them there. And thus, the dispatch that would later come to be known as Sirius's longest day had begun.
立花は森部と堂島は檜山とツーマンセルだ。B チームとの連絡を欠かすな。連携を常に取り続けろ。
They all had the same conviction, to accomplish the mission they'd been handed by whatever means necessary. However, what they found lurking there far exceeded their imagination. Countless unexpected complications kept arising one after another.
森部、地下にまだ人が。行こう、副隊長。
カササギ、すぐに地下に来てくれ。時間がありません。急いで。 分かった。そこで待ってろ。
繋がらない。 おかしいです。隊長の何が。
ここが N エリアか。
Area N. Yeah, they mentioned that a lot in the reports. I wonder what this place is.
この先に例の2人が閉じ込められてるって言うんですか。
そうさ。だから行こう。あの時俺たちは誰も救えなかった。その贖罪をする時がようやく来たんだよ。
But even that determination can be crushed.
バカな、誰もいないだって。
騙されたのか。
What?
俺たちは。
なぜ誰に。どうしてこんなことに。
悔やむなお前ら。今は後悔する時じゃない。まだ任務は続いているんだ。
ただいまケース N が発生しました。緊急事態につきセキュリティを通常モードに移行。地上に続く全隔壁を閉鎖します。
What's going on? They're gonna be locked in there.
俺がその子を探しに行く。
バカな、一人でか。
行くしかないだろ。お前たちは後を頼む。20分待って戻らなかったら俺を置いていけ。
He swallowed his regret and ran, all in order to stick true to his conviction.
ようやく見つけた。君はこのラボの関係者だな。
あなた。
Delta VN guys from Japan.
レスキュー隊だ。君たちを救助に来た。
Thus he found a lone girl, and then
間に合うか。まだあいつらはいるはずだ。きっとこの先に。
he endured the pain and kept on walking. And then, at the end of his mission... Uh-oh. Oh no! He came face to face with a monster. The monster took hold of his wrist. The monster looked at him and laughed. The man spotted a broken wristwatch out of the corner of his eye. At that moment, just as an indescribable fear sent shivers down his spine, he was assaulted by an intense pain akin to his brain being crushed. The man screamed, faced with an agony unlike anything he'd ever felt before. He struggled to understand the source of the pain amidst the confusion engulfing him.
今のはまさかお前も頭の中を。
His well-toned body proved helpless in the face of that power. You damn monster! In spite of that, he struggled against it, attempting to complete his mission. Nevertheless, his will broke as the overwhelming pain surged through his head once more. He staggered backwards, clutching his head. The monster's face warped sinisterly, its gaze piercing right through him. He then fled without looking back. If he'd stood his ground, he'd be killed, annihilated. And so he held his throbbing head as he ran for his life. have to get away, as far away as possible. He had to retreat to a place where the monster's power couldn't reach him. But it was all for naught. Everything in front of him flashed as he felt an agony like that of his head exploding. That was the last thing he felt. And then, as if someone had flipped a switch, his consciousness faded into darkness. Eventually, far past that frozen time, awake, a voice called to him. Or perhaps it was merely a memory of such a voice. He heard that voice as he lay beneath the whitewashed tomb, and then time began to move. His consciousness was in an endless darkness, a world where everything was closed off. Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. He'd been disconnected from all of his senses. I didn't really feel like there was a world around him to experience at all. Where am I? He didn't know. His head was a total blank. What is this? All he could sense was a feeling of loss. What's going on? It felt like he was lacking anything definitive. How did this happen? He desperately tried to figure out why. Soon enough, fragmented images twinkled in the corner of his mind. I see. So that thing attacked me. Is this death? No. The sound of a beating heart echoed inside him. He knew for sure he could perceive that. This guy is... No, not this guy. I'm... alive! Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, pain. I have all of those senses. My body and consciousness are right here. I'm right here. Yeah! I'm alive.
隊長、しっかりしてください。隊長、起きなよ隊長。隊長ってば。
With the sound of those voices suddenly filling his ears, the man opened his eyes.
Ah, 気がついたのですね。よかった。死んでるかと思ったよ。
The man said nothing as the woman before him started addressing him.
っていうか隊長、なんでこんなところにいるのさ。式場にいるはずじゃ。それより、ご自分の名前を言えますか？今日が何月何日かは。
The man already felt confused in the face of the sudden storm of questions he'd been sucked into. He first tried to grasp the situation around him. The women in front of him were wearing orange uniforms. So they're firefighters, no? Rescue workers? Their uniforms were covered in soot. Disaster, accident, rescue. Vague images related to those words swirled around in the man's mind.
君ら、ここは。
まだ起き上がらない方が。
The man ignored her warnings and sat up, then checked his surroundings. He was in some building he'd never seen before. He'd apparently been lying in the middle of the hall. He could see cold steel doors and fire hydrants lining the corridor. A glance up at the ceiling revealed air ducts, sprinklers, and so. A sharp headache hit the man at that moment, causing him to fall to the floor yet again.
大丈夫？痛むの？
いや。
Just then, the man realized he was wearing the same uniform as the woman. Why am I wearing this thing? He felt a strange sense of discomfort. like he had no connection with himself. Why was he here in this uniform?
俺は一体
The man stood up as he shook his groggy head. His body also felt off. Almost like his body and mind weren't properly linked. I kind of feel like this isn't my body or something. No sooner had this thought crossed the man's mind than the air suddenly shake.
なんだ
The woman paid no heed to the man's confusion and instead exchanged glances.
また爆発。火が出てるかも。行こう、副隊長。ええ。隊長はそこで休んでいてください。私たちだけで行ってきます。
The woman who had been called lieutenant broke off into a run alongside the other woman, who was apparently her subordinate.
ちょっと
Scared of being left alone and totally in the dark about what was going on, the man followed the two. He called out to them as he started closing the distance.
待ってくれ君たち
Look at that green's hair. Wow.
隊長、休んでいてと申し上げましたのに。
いや大丈夫そうだよ。だったら手伝ってもらおうよ。
そうじゃない教えてもらいたいだけなんださっきの音は何だ何が起きてるんだ
The other one looks cross-eyed on the right.
何言ってんの隊長。どういう状況か分かってないの？
The women looked at each other for a brief second.
来ればわかります。我々についてきてください。
The lieutenant broke off and turned to run at those words with the man hot on her trail. She then opened a door at the end of the hall, sending intense heat surging out of it. What is this heat? A heat haze filled the area, distorting their vision of what was before them.
早く消火せねば。
また爆発が起こる前にね。
The women passed through the open doorway. The man followed suit and ran through the hallway, only to be greeted with hellfire. The man froze in shock at the scene he was confronted with, but the woman quickly got to work without even a moment's hesitation.
消火ホースの用意を。
了解。ちょっと隊長どいて。
The female rescue worker pushed the man aside and pulled out a hose from the fire hydrant built into a nearby wall. She then passed it to the lieutenant, who directed its nozzle toward the flames.
放水開始。
了解。ホース。
A jet stream of water collided with the flames, which erupted into large clouds of steam. Incredible. The fire's getting smaller and smaller by the second. The men stared at the swiftly dying fire with stark amazement. Just then, he heard something else mixed in with the sound of the flames evaporating. A faint sound. One. Was that a voice? He wondered if it was his mind playing tricks on him for a second. But as soon as he strained his ears, he definitely heard what sounded like a young girl's voice coming from the room in front of him.
あの部屋誰かいる
The man's body started running as soon as the thought hit him. Weaving its way through the gaps between the flames, the room's door was crushed inwards due to the effects of the explosion. A man peeked into the room from the shadow of the broken door and discovered a world of fire and smoke. Where is it? Where's that voice coming from? His hair was singed by the sparks bathing him, creating an awful stench that hung in the air. What's more, his eyes were tearing up thanks to the smoke irritating them. But he endured it and focused on searching the room.